And then that's another thing, man. You see, like the persecutors that they forged a lie. And these things that are in the Bible, man. Anybody read the Book of Psalms? It's all throughout the Bible, and that's what I be trying to tell people, man. Like this, like a lot of the things I went through, I seen. Like I said, I told people I seen the Bible come alive. Like throughout these years of my life, like you wouldn't believe like the things I witnessed, and it's directly in the scripture. Then it's like wow, And that's one of the things, like with this massive lie campaign, everybody see now that it was a lie. So just imagine if they lied, if the persecutors lied about this big situation, which turns out to be a scam. You feel me? They scammed to defile a person's name for a fortune, to have a fortune. You know what I'm saying? They did it as a scam to get money. You know what I'm saying? To get mammon. You know what I'm saying? And so, that was a lie scam to defile somebody's name to come up from that defilement of their name in itself, using that as a stepping stone, So it was all a massive scam. So they lied about this big situation that common sense to tell a person that, everything else they were saying was false. You feel me? Like they lied about the small stuff too. You feel me? They lied about the big stuff. They lied about the small stuff. But they really the ones that was doing that. They really the ones that was false. You feel me? Using all of this stuff at God's expense with the knowledge of it. And in order for them to do that and keep doing it every year, all year, simultaneous to causeless violence, hunting, of a person, stalking of a person, sabotaging of every facet of their life, their livelihoods and legacies and, lying on a person's contribution, art. It was to absolutely erase the existence of a person from history. Totally without cause. Just to try to preserve somebody else's mess up. You feel me? Or try to preserve somebody else's image or reputation or something. So, you already know, like, if they lied about that, they lied about this, and then you see those persecutors, they try to find, like, a safe haven to run to, like, they look for people, places, and things, you feel me, that would justify this inauthenticity. And, you know what I mean? Where I see it, I'm like, it should be anywhere, anyone that would be willing to, hold somebody up is something this fake. Like, there's nothing real about it, It's crazy, man. And I know personally, I've been going through it for so long that I'm just happy that everybody can see now. But it ain't no, you just gotta sit there. You gotta be people, it should be people there to address that kind of situation. You feel me? Like, address those, like, people that would willfully do that to somebody who don't deserve it. Because it didn't take no time for me to get absolutely brutalized. You feel me? Like, it didn't take no time for me to get brutalized behind this, these slanders and things. And then, and that's what it is. They look for safe havens to hold them up in their wrong. And so, if they lie about this big situation, then they was lying about the small stuff. And really, this right here, it really defeats the purpose. Because when you think about it, like, even me making recordings like this, talking about things that's been happening for the past 7 years, when you already consider that I prove, and we already established the situation and the fact that this was going on before, like, this was already, it was, the foundations were already being laid before I even started writing. I started writing it in 2011. This stuff was, like, I was already under watch and I probably was already under attacks, but I can prove the last 7 years. But before that point, it was already, a situation. I was already on the radar of these envious people because they saw the power of God. And then when I started making steps to show that I was going to make a great impact for God, then that's when they started making steps to destroy me. But absolutely, it was way before then. You know what I'm saying? I was already pretty much marked by these influential figures, not long after my incarnation into the world, and that's just the truth. So, this is a pre-existing thing. So my art is that's just an excuse they took advantage to use. They pretty much, they were like, if they knew, if I display any literary talent that was going anywhere, then they would drop these slanders on me. And that's why I didn't know about the things that was being said about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was intentionally not informed. Because I could have easily just addressed it, and then nipped it. And then when I realized I was being slandered anyway, smear campaigns, I did that. I addressed it, but I absolutely nipped it in the bud early on. But they ignored everything until the crime and the damage was complete. You feel me? So that's the problem. Like, they knew the truth, but they continued to act on the lie anyway. And then, by me not knowing the slanderous things they were saying, they had me under the impression that they had previously showed me love. And they showed me love before, like after they had did that. And I didn't know about it, but the love they did openly, but the slander campaign, smear campaign, they did low key without my knowledge. So if I showed love, it seemed as though I'm, conforming into this covert smear campaign they already had going on. That I was left out the loop of it, but everybody else was told about it, and then it was kept under wraps. You see, so it was a massive framing. It's they meant to like my utter destruction, and then now we just got to question why. You know what I'm saying? So now the spotlight on them. You know what I'm saying? Now they call like persecutors that they're liars, haters, envy, jealousy. It's a lot of things, but yeah, they lie about the big situation that you already know. Everything on the watch. Everything under, everything should be under scrutiny. And so, these same entities and stuff, like I say, man, ain't nobody really gave them any, like, resistance. They still in positions to keep torturing and terrorizing my life, Now they have no basis for it. And I don't want them nowhere near me or my correspondence for life. So if it's still happening anyway, now I made sure 3 years ago that people that's in charge of that kind of thing are preventing that. They already know. So I'm like, they justify it with quotes. I'm like, okay, that's not helping me though. So I can't be for that. It's not helping my purposes or what I stand for. So I can't. What expect me to? I'm not cool with that. I'm not good with that. Nobody who would do this to a person has any love for them, or what they represent. So why should I respect any of it? That's not respect. It's please, man. Like, and that's the situation. It's like it just ain't fair, But as long as it's the case, though, I'm gonna be fighting, though. Got no choice, man. My faith is strong, and I'm fighting the good fight of faith. This is a righteous cause.